What's going on? What's going on? Come on in here. So, I got a question from a sister, man, and I think it'll help a lot of you. So, she was in a relationship for like 10 plus years, serious relationship, never got married, and that was part of the reason why she got out. But in that relationship, there was a lot of stuff that went wrong, a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, betrayal, all of that. And if you know, like I know, the hardest relationships teach you the most. So, anyway, she's come out of that relationship. She's a lot wiser now. She's smarter in how she moves. She's developed. She's healed. She's ready, right? But she's getting back on the dating scene and she's striking out. She's striking out. Like she's asking me, Leah, am I cute enough? Like, what's going on? Like, what's really good? Like, when I was last on the dating scene, I had no problem getting a man to want to take me serious for a relationship. But now I'm noticing that the guys that I'm dating, they're going on to have relationships with other women and not me. What am I doing wrong? And I told her the same way I'm gonna tell y'all. That's where a lot of you go wrong, thinking, oh, what am I doing wrong? It may not be anything that you're doing wrong. It may be that the men that you're choosing are not aligned with what you need in your life. Meaning, whenever you choose a guy, he's going to be choosing you back or not based on how he sees himself and whether or not you are in support of that. How he sees himself and how he believes he should be, and whatever that is, you're either aligned with that or not, and that's what that man is going to choose. And guess what? That goes good or bad. It's no right or wrong answer. So, for instance, if a man feels like he's a jailbird, he a hood dude, he only gonna be a hood dude, he get it popping anywhere or whatever. That's how he sees himself. He's just indoctrinated with that mentality. But you come forward and you're holding him accountable for being responsible for his decision making, for using impulse control, for managing his anger, for trying to get out of those circles that were only leading him into trouble. It ain't that you did anything wrong, but you're not aligned with how he sees himself or how he sees himself, like the ideal version of himself. So he may choose a woman who's on that same type of ride or die, Bonnie and Clyde type of nonsense. She gonna rob a bank for him. She gonna hold the dope for him. And guess what? That's okay. That's okay. Or if you see a man and you say, you know what? I see in him so much talent, so much skill, and I just know he could just take that little, I don't know, painting that he does on the side. I know he could just take that so far. But he sees himself as a couch potato. Like, that's really who he is. He don't give a crap about no money, making no income, none of that. He just like, I'm cool staying with my mama. I'm cool letting a woman take care of me. I'm cool with my phone being cut off every couple months or whatever. I'm cool with not having no car, no gas in my car or whatever. If that's how he sees himself, and the ideal version of himself is no different than where he's at, then you as a woman and what you need from a man and what you are as a woman and how you can help a man clashes with that. You're not helpful to him in becoming who he thinks he should be, nor in supporting who he currently is at that moment. Or if a man feels like, as a man, a real masculine man isn't accountable to any woman for anything. He don't have to check in. He don't have to really regard her feelings. That's a real man. But you come in and you're holding him accountable. You're asking questions like, hey, I thought you said you was going to go here. It looks like you ended up there. Like something ain't right. What's up? Like, or why would you go to this space where this type of activity is going on? Ain't nothing there. Strippers and all that kind of stuff. Ain't nothing there that should be for a man in a relationship. Guess what? You're going to clash. And he's going to choose who? The woman that feels like a piece of a man is better than no man at all. That's who he's going to choose. The woman that's down for whatever. It's cool. Long as I don't know about it. Long as you don't bring me no STD. Like, that's who he's going to choose. So it's like, you got to stop judging a man based on how you see him, and you got to start discerning amongst men in how they see themselves first and foremost, then how you see them. Then we can have the conversation as to whether or not you're doing something wrong. Because that's, again, you could be doing something wrong. You, like, say for instance, don't think that y'all the only ones that's picky. Ain't nobody more picky on the dating scene than evolved men. Evolved men. I promise you that. Once a man gets to a point where, he don't want just anything to say he got something. When a man gets to a point where he's controlled his physical discipline, so he's very careful about who he spends his time and invests his presence into. Man, a woman can be bad. She can have it all going on paper, this, that, and the other. But let's say she got the mentality that she need a man that can put her in her place. Y'all have heard that before, because I know I have. I need a man that can put me in my place. Well, guess what? Most evolved men feel like a woman should come already knowing what her place is so that she can join with him and get into the place he's already headed. So when a woman comes with that whole, I need you to invest energy and discipline in me and doing what my daddy should have did, the evolved man says, hey, I'm cool. I don't care how fat your booty is. I don't care how wet your pee is. I don't care. I don't care about none of that stuff. I'm good. Hands off. And an evolved man is not going to want to, because it's going to clash with the version of him that he sees himself as a respectable, mature, forward progression type of guy. Like, that's going to clash with that. It's not going to support that, nor who he feels like he should be. But see, whenever you get to holding an evolved man accountable, or you get to voicing what your concerns are, your boundaries are to an evolved man, that's not going to run him off. That's going to be welcome, because as a man, he feels like I should be aware of what my woman has to say. I should be a safe place for my woman to come and express her grievances with what I'm doing. I'm not perfect. Even evolved men are not perfect. Let me be very clear. They make mistakes too, but they're accountable for their mistakes. They don't turn the tables around. They look for opportunities to grow because they value that growth. And they value a woman's ability to help them grow. Again, we're talking about path, not potential. Potential is what you think a man can be if he did all of these things and the stars align. Path is what he's already been investing himself into becoming. Now, here's the one exception I'll say. Because a lot of guys will make a decision that they later on regret on down the road, years later. And these are typically immature men. Not bad men, but immature men. Inexperienced men, and I've been there before. And what an immature man will do is he'll choose the woman that lusts him over the woman that has the capacity to love him. And again, this is always a regret. Now, why do guys do this? Because lust feels good until you realize that it's lust. Oh, lust feels good, and it feels better than love at times. Depending on your value set, it feels better than love. Lust never has a bad day. It doesn't. Lust is always turned on, always got a smile on his face, always available, just butterflies all over the place, roses and rainbows. Like, that's what lust is, until you realize that it's lust. And I'm really talking to my guys here, because I was here before myself. I'm not perfect. I've been here before. But when you're dealing with a woman that lusts you, all it takes is that time whenever you're grieving, or whenever you're taking some L's and you're not as high up as you once were, and your business ain't doing as good, or your job, or you're getting fired from your job, or your weight is up and down, or your mental health is compromised right now, or again, you're grieving somebody that passed away close to you, so you're not so chipper and so flirtatious, and you're not able to perform in bed. Like, lust will show itself as lust in those moments. Whereas love don't always feel good, but it holds you down even when it doesn't feel good. Love don't always feel good. Sometimes love feels like accountability. Sometimes love feels like a reality check, holding the mirror up to you. Hey, as much as you are sad about your boys dissing you and this, that, and the other, you wasn't all the way perfect in that situation. You could have moved better too. Maybe you need to apologize. Love feels like that type of accountability. Love feels like that. But even when you don't feel good to your woman, meaning you're not your best self, not saying you have a past to be destructive, and that's, if it's love, it hangs in there. But if you're not your best self, you're not up, love still doesn't see you as less than the man that she fell in love with. Love doesn't see you as less than the man that she fell in love with. Love still sees you as a king. Love still sees you as an overcomer. Love wants to encourage you in those moments, not go to somebody else who's more convenient at the time. And again, it takes a certain level. Before I evolved, I didn't understand this. It takes a certain level of evolution to understand what I'm saying. Now, for you ladies out there and you feel like, hey, I'm in the market for an evolved man. I'm tired of these immature men and trying to push them to be something that they're not, or clashing with them or whatever. I broke down the strategies that have worked for thousands of women already, because I had never seen anybody else talk about this. But if you want those strategies, click this link that you see pinned right here in the comments. Click the link, get access to that masterclass, Secrets to Making Evolved Men Crave You. Okay? That's going to break down the strategies on how to not only attract an evolved man, but attract multiple evolved men. Because quiet as kept, they're not that hard to find. They're actually looking for women who share the same values as them. The problem is a lot of women only know how to compete with each other instead of knowing how to stand out and grab attention from what they actually want. And don't think that you have to go for attention at the expense of respect with an evolved man. You don't. But evolved men don't have the same intuition that you have. So there are ways that you can authentically, within your truth, stand out to an evolved man. Again, I went in on that over an hour. If you want access to that masterclass, and it's free, you don't have to pay anything. But click the link that's pinned right here. Get access to that masterclass. Secrets to Make an Evolved Man Crave You. It's also in the caption whenever you back out. But moral of the story is this. If you're dating or in a relationship and your guy chooses somebody else other than you, before you start looking at, oh, what did I do wrong? Qualify. how he sees himself. Does he even see himself as the type of man that you need in your life? Because even if he has the potential to get to that point, he won't if he don't see himself as that. You can't want more for somebody else or see more in somebody else than what they're willing to see in themselves. It's only going to have you becoming a lesser version of yourself in the effort to try to make them in the way that you see them. That makes sense to anybody? That makes sense to anybody? If it does, share this on your timeline right now. Bless somebody else with this conversation, because I'm sure somebody else needs to hear this if you got anything from it. And if you're in the market for an evolved man, click the link that's pinned. I'm saying this over and over again because I don't want y'all to miss it. Click the link, get access to the free masterclass, Secrets to Making Evolved Men Crave You. And I will see y'all.